Hey everyone, this is Harg. I'm here to help. Today the topic is in Legendary Game of Heroes, how to be a great guildmate. And right now is a great opportunity to kind of get a good insight into it because there's a lot of good events going on right now. And then in addition to that, it's a commander event. So there's lots of information that's going to be useful for being good. It's probably too late for this week's event, but it'll get you some planning ahead of time for next time. So first and foremost is you be smart about what card you're sharing for your helper card. A lot of people are kind of negligent of this, and it's really important. If you really want to be a good citizen in the game and a good member of your guild, you want to make sure that you've got a card at all times that people can find helpful. So I'm on my baby account, rank 22. This happens to be the free card that you get in this event this week. It's the best I have for a water commander, and that's what I've got shared out. That's sometimes that's all you can do, and that's great. If you're a spender or you've had really lucky draws and you've got a pink starred super awesome, you've got all the an ultimate or whatever. Share that, share the best that you've got, share the one that you think everybody's going to be super happy to see, right? Don't share, you know don't have your beginner card if you can help it, because some like 2-star red card during a water event, like that's not super helpful. But it actually goes beyond just in a commander event. It also goes to when you're doing bounties, when the bounty event is going on, you want to make sure you have good cards to help with that. Any time that you can go in and pull a helper card from a friend or from a guild mate, right? Every time you do that for yourself, make sure to take a minute and think about whether you've got the right ones for that you're sharing the best ones that you can. Just go into your area, and you can change it to whatever you'd like, and as long as it's appropriate for the conditions. If you have a question, ask your guildmates. Be like, hey, what card do you think I should have here? Awesome. Okay, so that's just, it's super important, especially like I say, during a commander event, it's vital, right? Because when you get to the higher end bosses, there are times that if you don't have the right helper card, you're just kind of stuck. Okay, other good ways to be a great guildmate. In the event, so, and then again, this is, here we are back in the, it's a commander event, and so that's kind of where my mindset is right now. You've got your solo bosses to work through. You got your solo chests. This account, he's ranked 22. He doesn't do a lot. He's killed a couple solo bosses through here, but what he has been is he's been a very active tagger, right? And so in the event, know your role, like know where you can be helpful. If you're a smaller player that's not going to be able to kill big and high end bosses, just make sure that you're doing what you can, that you're hitting what, everybody should be able to hit something, on their own. And then in these events, once the higher players get to a certain point, they can start sending keys out to the guild. And if you're an active tagger, you can get keys to the higher end bosses, and make a lot of points. This guy, again, he's only killed a couple solo bosses himself. If you look and see his guild boss key collection, he's got quite a few kind of across the whole range because people have been sending them around. And specifically in this case, my main character has been sure to make sure that this guy can tag because it helps the guild. He's in first place in his bracket. He's put up a bunch of points. He's completed the collection. He's at 6 billion points, and he hasn't done much other than just take a key, tag a boss, and then wait for the big hitters to kill it. But it's good for the guild, right? If you have one or two people hitting a boss, it's fine. But if you have 10 or 12 or 20 hit a boss, it's worth far more. Now, let's say this is reversed and you are a big hitter. Make sure that you're doing the right things with the keys that you get. Make sure that you're sending them to people that are going to use them. Make sure, if people are online, prioritize them maybe. Or if your guild works in shifts and you've got people in Europe and America and Asia, and you want to make sure that things are kind of going constantly, maybe start feeding some keys so that the next time zone that wakes up will be um, uh, able to hit the ground running and really keep things going for the guild. And that's where it all kind of starts and ends, right? It's being able to generate a lot of impact for the guild. In Slayer events, it's a little bit different, right? The guild bosses are super easy to kill, and and getting a lot of people to tag on them is kind of a massive pain. All they really become is a farm thing for getting keys for the solo side. But in these commander events, you really just have to execute. You have to really get in there and make sure as many people are hitting the bosses as they can, and then make sure that everybody feels valuable for doing that. Because if you're, trust me, if you're a big hitter and you're by yourself, it's kind of pointless, right? You have to have a good team around you helping, and make sure that everybody knows the rules. If you are a big hitter, don't just sit there and just blow through things as fast as you can. Make sure that you're going at a pace where people can come in and tag things up so that you can get, as many people on the tag as possible. Don't lose time. I don't believe in any of the rules that people set around being, like, make sure that there's 20 tags or whatever where a boss sits for 5 hours, right? I would rather kill a boss every 10 minutes and then just, hope for the best. But just be smart about it. Know what your guild's rules are. In my guild, right, we have rules around, the basic example that we use for people is go into the crusade side and make sure that you start working your way up, and then when you get to a point where you're stuck, whatever the highest level is that you can hit that 5 times. Then go over to the guild side and uh, and hit and tag everything. If you can kill it, great, do it. If you can't, then hit it one time with one key and move on, right? Because it's more important to leave something half dead and then the next person along comes and you get double the points. That's way more important than you using multiple keys, right? Just hit it with one key, move on until you get to the higher end stuff, right? When you've got the bigger bosses, this guy's 2 quadrillion points, it's going to take probably somebody a couple hits, unless you're unless you're super fortunate and have one of the really high end players on your team. So, and then remember, this is all, commander events are all within the guild. So you can be really smart, you can be really you can be really deliberate about how you set things up and the pathway to success. Our little tiny guild, we're 396, and it's Sunday of the event, right? We've got 24 hours, 26 hours left of the event, and we're doing really well even at a global level. So we're it's a matter of being just smart and going in and maximizing what everybody gets for prizes. So hope this helps, and be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Harg72 will make sure to have a video at least once every event, and then as needed. Thank you.